When the Vineland Police Department receive a frantic call on one evening in May of 2020, they aren't aware that the case that's about to unfold is about to take the internet by storm.
Hi, 1, where's your emergency? There's blood all over the place. I just got assaulted and jumped. Are you the one that got stabbed? No, that was the other victim, but I got beat up really bad and I have blood all over me. Alright, so you're at 2986 Thornhill as well? Yes. Alright, and you want an ambulance? I don't know. Alright, the people who did it to you, are they still there? They came with trucks, came on my property with guns, and then when I fought them off, they drove away. Alright, how are you injured, sir? My windpipe was crushed in, and I got stomped out and choked by like 10 people. Alright, and where are you bleeding from? I don't know, there's blood all over me. I don't even know if it's cut. There's blood all over our garage. Okay. Now the person came in and said they had guns and they were going to kill us, and they came in my garage and attacked all of us. There's 4 people.
That's 20-year-old Zachary Latham. He's just been followed home by his neighbours and has stabbed one of them. However, all isn't as it seems. To say Zachary Latham's early years were rough would be an understatement. His mother had practically neglected him for a life of crime, spending countless years in and out of jail, and his father, well, to put it bluntly, both he and Zachary's stepmother were extremely abusive. So much in fact that in 2018, when Zachary turned 16, he got married to his high school sweetheart, Sarah, in order to become emancipated. Thanks to Sarah, he was finally free from a life of abuse. Zachary had called Bridgeton, New Jersey home for the first 10 years of his life. Some of the horrors happened there. However, it was when the family relocated to Florida in 2012 that the abuse really started to ramp up. As you know though, just 6 years on, he got married to Sarah and became emancipated. Zachary would wave goodbye to the Sunshine State, and his grandparents' house in Vineland, New Jersey was where he now called home. During his time in Vineland, Zachary would join the National Guard, a military reserve group for the US Army and Air Force that operate both domestically and overseas. Deployment schedules vary depending on who you ask, but generally most guardsmen and women can obtain a college degree, work a full-time job, or start a business if they wanted to. So in other words, they live a normal life away from the military, but are called up for deployment once in a blue moon. Given all the free time he had on his hands then, Zachary decided he wanted to turn his hobby of driving into a career on TikTok, something his neighbours weren't too happy about. Why, you may be asking yourself? Well, that's because Zachary wasn't your average car enthusiast. He drove recklessly. In the UK, they're called certy drivers. For the audience in the United States, if you've heard of squeeze bands, think of those types of characters. So, yeah, his hobby consisted of him being a public nuisance on the road. Locals wouldn't put up with the antics for too long though, and according to reports, neighbour, 49-year-old correctional officer William T. Durham Sr. was the first to scold him. Zachary was said to have shrugged it off, but ultimately apologised later that same day. The stern word had calmed the driving for a while, but when Zachary started to post on TikTok about a year later, he started to drive recklessly again, this time for the camera, which caused various small spats with a lot of the neighbours moving forward. Military lifestyle and driving content was Zachary's go-to, but his TikTok account wasn't really going anywhere, at least for the time being. Sure, the odd video gained a couple thousand views, but it was never enough to become someone big. That was until April 6th, 2020, when he'd finally catch his big break. Although it came at the expense of William T. Durham Sr.'s wife, Catherine. You see, Zachary would film one of the confrontations about the driving, and overnight, the video blew up.
What are you gonna do, Karen?
That's not my name, so get my name straight. Go ahead.
You okay, Karen? Go ahead, get my tag.
Let's go.
Get my tag, Karen.
My name is not Karen, so get my name straight.
Get my tag, it's okay.
A45 MFA. Sir, there's an officer
All because my car is loud. 3 cop cars.
Cut her tires, egg her house, and go after her were just a few of the reported responses on the now deleted video. And go after her is what Zachary would end up doing. Not just Catherine though, rather the whole Durham family, including her 2 sons, William Jr. and Gage. On the 14th of April 2020, a second confrontation video was posted to TikTok.
I'm calling the cops on you, that's good. Alright. Yeah.
According to the Durham family, over the next couple of weeks, they'd fall victim to a harassment campaign at the hands of Zachary Latham. Reports say that various videos targeting the Durhams were made, but since the account has been deleted, we won't ever really know to what extent. The Durhams clearly felt at least annoyed by Zachary's behaviour though, and felt that police assistance was now needed. However, believe it or not, they couldn't help. You see, this was all happening during the height of the coronavirus pandemic. That meant then the courts were closed and a criminal complaint couldn't be signed off straight away. The Durham family contacted the chief of police for a progress update on the 29th of April 2020, and he told them he was trying his best to speed it up because more reports about Zachary's driving had come in. In the end, the criminal complaint would never be signed off as tragedy was just over the horizon. It's the morning of May 4th, 2020, and the latest confrontation between Zachary and the Durham family is about to take place. Although it's captured on video, it's never posted to TikTok.
Why are you guys recording when you came out of us first?
When?
What?
When? Yeah.
You don't remember? So now you were riding his bike and you swerved and pushed him against the curb?
I didn't put me against the curb.
You did
You have it on video?
video?
You have it on video? Because I didn't do that.
Yeah, we do have it on video.
I'd like to see it.
The cops already saw it.
How are you doing?
that sucks.
I know I didn't because...
You were right here in the front.
What, him or him? I honked at him because he was in the way. I didn't hit him.
On the side of the rear?
I didn't hit you though, man. She said you did.
No, I did not say that. You don't like to fucking Come on. You're 18. Come on.
Oh,
Get out of his
Get out of my face.
Get out of his face. No.
Get out of my face.
Get out of his face.
This dispute had taken place after Catherine accused Zachary of swerving his car into her 17-year-old son Gage as he rode his bike out of his driveway, something that Zachary said never happened. However, Catherine stated that she had video evidence of the incident and had passed it on to police. The issue was though, ladies and gentlemen, no such video was ever handed in. We do know that the Durhams had CCTV at the front of the house that was always rolling, so reason would tell you that no such footage ever existed. Following the confrontation, Zachary would flee to his grandparents' home, and the Durhams would follow soon after. Once he realised what was going on, he ran inside of the property and grabbed a stun gun and a knife to defend himself. What should be noted is that the Durhams were unarmed. A fight between Zachary, 2 of his friends, and the Durhams would break out over the next couple of minutes. Punches and kicks were thrown, knife blows had also landed. Zachary had initially swung the knife at William Jr. but missed. However, he managed to stab William Sr. in the back and left underarm. The underarm wound caused a punctured lung. William Sr. would be rushed to a hospital but died just a few short hours later.
Real quick,
I didn't do anything.
What's your relationship to
It's
this?
my husband.
Okay. And what about the Zachary kid? What's your relationship?
It's a neighbor's been harassing us
He's just
for
your neighbor?
months.
Where else you hit?
It's been going on for a while.
I know. But do you remember what happened? I know
Today?
Yeah, like right
I
now.
know everything.
Yeah.
Today, he swerved at my brother and honked the horn like he was going to hit him.
Okay. While he was out on the road? Okay.
So my dad tried to stop him because he was going to confront him.
He was in the car, and he
so we went to the house
and drove off. So we all went.
So we went over there.
Right.
And he came out with a knife and a taser, a fucking knife, probably this long.
Okay.
So he pulled a knife out on us and a taser. So my dad fucking.
How many victims do we have right now?
Okay.
And he fucking stabbed him.
Were you hit with
Sorry,
anything?
security tell me he's got a head injury also.
Did he touch you at all or no? Did he touch you at all?
Him and his boy.
All right, copy. How many victims do you have?
The Zach kid, this gentleman here was riding his bike in the roadway. He tried to hit him. He tried to hit you with the bike, right?
Yeah,
or he was driving his vehicle.
He was right here talking to someone.
Okay.
And then I was going over there.
Right.
And he came up speeding. He started honking his horn, like he swerved at me.
Right.
And then that was the whole thing.
Okay. And then you said your brother went over to the house, or?
We all did because Zach came back.
Right.
To here. And we stopped him because my dad was like, "Why are you swerving at my son?"
So, listen, I know you told me he tried to hit you with you were on your bike. He tried to hit you with the car.
Yeah.
Did you fall off your bike at all?
No.
When that happened? Okay. So you get off the bike. I just need the piece.
It was
exactly
like a couple hours between.
This
you want to be
earlier.
put on an ID set for Thornhill?
Around 5 o'clock.
Okay.
To be exact, I think.
I'll advise. For now, just put me on the call.
Okay. All right. So.
Copy.
You've been having problems with him for a while. All right. So then what happened with your brother and you? You said your brother. When did he go over to the house on the corner of Thornhill?
Today?
Yeah.
Well, we all did. When this all happened, yeah.
Okay.
I was there too.
How did he get in contact with your dad? How did he get it?
My brother.
Your Zach.
Zach, he pulled a knife out on us, so my dad went after him.
Where out here?
No, at his house.
Okay, when you went over there to confront him, he pulled out the knife?
From his garage.
Okay. And then he came after your dad. Did you see him cut up your dad, or?
Copy, so that's
he went up to him
They were all on the ground, yeah, and he got cut up.
I have,
He was the only one with a knife.
Okay. All right.
Copy.
All right. And then.
You want to put me out at Thornhill and through.
Okay.
Is he gonna make it?
Yeah, he's gonna. They're taking care of him now. All right. We just need to know what happened for report purposes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I appreciate you talking with me. You're being pretty calm. I know you've had
cops all the time.
You've had issues with him for a while.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just keep repeating myself because I want to make sure everything's accurate. You're riding your bike down the street earlier today.
Yeah, I pulled out of my driveway.
Okay. He was driving his car this way down the road. Acted like he was gonna hit you. Were you outside by yourself at the time, or were you with somebody else?
Yeah, I was. Well, yeah, I was outside myself.
Okay. All right.
Because Billy was down the street. He didn't see it.
Okay.
My brother.
All right. And then did you tell your brother what happened?
Yeah, and then he told
that's
my
when
parents.
he told your dad, and that's when you guys went over there.
No, Zach came back driving down the road.
Okay, and then
So
your
then
dad
we
tried to
stopped.
stop them.
We did,
to,
yeah.
To talk to him, say, hey, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
And what did he do? Just keep driving?
My mom and dad were at the window of his truck, and then he punched my mom and then drove off.
He punched your mom?
Yeah, in the back of the neck.
All right, all right.
And,
then he
that's
drove
why
off?
we went over there.
And that's why you went over there?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So then when you went over there, you said he came out of his garage with a taser and a knife?
Yeah.
And he got into it with your dad, and that's when he cut him up?
Yeah,
okay.
and then that's why my brother
Because
he went too. I just saw my dad get stabbed.
Down here? Yeah.
Yeah, his house.
Copy.
Show your fucking hands. Leave them up. Leave them the fuck up. Get on the ground. You on the ground.
Over there. Walk over there.
Go over there. Now.
You step down over here.
K9 3. Go over there. Get on the ground.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground.
All right, we got 3 people down on the ground now at the corner of Fruit Street. Send somebody down here now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Copy. History of injuries. I'll get a second unit started.
The accused.
I need an ambulance.
What's your problem?
I have a head injury. They came in our kitchen and attacked us.
All right, put some gloves on, Fix.
I need an ambulance. Can I grab my head?
Turn his head.
You in the blue shirt. Turn your head.
Or have him sit up, Derek.
Where are you hurt? I need an ambulance. You're not hurt. Whose blood is that? Okay, stay down on the ground, but don't bury your face.
How many victims do we have right now?
Can you please get an ambulance over here?
Sarge, the accused is telling me he's got a head injury also.
All of them attacked me in my kitchen.
I have video proof. They came on the property.
All right.
All right, copy. How many victims do you have?
Sold in the back away.
Where I'm at, I only have 1. 2? What's his?
I got 2 injuries where the accused is at. I got a head injury and a shoulder injury. Copy. District 8, copy.
Confirm, we're sending another EMS unit.
Just listen to them, Zach. I didn't do anything. Just listen to them. Listen to them.
Fix, who else you guys accused? These other 2?
Just him.
Just him for right now?
We can sit them up there? Put them down?
Yeah. You gloved up?
How do you want me to get up? Roll over and
Sit on your ass.
sit right there. My head hurts, man.
Hit down once he's clear, we can sit him back up.
Dude, are you sure you're not hit anywhere?
Bro, don't move your fucking
5 to 10, where are you?
I can't see.
All right, don't move though. Stay on the floor, okay?
Copy, so
Just
that's
relax.
the 4th
EMS is
victim.
almost here.
I think I have a concussion.
Okay.
I have, yes, that's 4, yes.
We have one. Just roll up.
Copy.
Okay? Just relax. Try to relax.
I got my head stomped in like 10 times.
You want to put me out of Thornhill and Fruit?
Can you loosen these a little bit?
Not right now, buddy. Just try to be strong, okay? EMS
I
is
need
here.
water or something. I feel like I'm gonna pass out.
Okay. Just try to relax. Listen, breathe in, breathe out, okay?
I can't see.
Try to relax. I know. Just try to relax. Try to relax. Breathe. You gotta breathe.
It hurts.
I know. Just try to breathe.
He stomped in my throat.
Okay.
What's your name? Tara? Sarah?
They literally just, I have a video. I told them get off the property. They just marched right
Is
in.
your house right here?
Yes, and they stomped on him and they started beating him up. They came at us. We were driving at our house. The dude in the truck comes charging at us, and I start the video, and that's when they pull out their phones saying, "Oh, you try to do this, you try to do that," and then that's when we left, and then they came at our property.
Okay.
They came
Is there
in
any-
our fucking kitchen.
Is there any more victims over there?
No, because they
over there?
I think that's who they're speaking to.
Okay.
How the f am I in handcuffs and they came in our kitchen?
Relax, dude.
Somebody's running up here, guys.
Fire scenery, so you have someone running towards you guys.
They've been harassing us.
2-1 to 8. Just to confirm, we have 4 victims at Thornhill and Fruit. I don't know how many are down the other end.
I have a concussion, I think. I can't see. And he stomped in my throat.
Down the other end of Thornhill.
Lucky they didn't get the gun. This is why I want a fucking permit, so if somebody comes to my house, I can fucking kill them. Nobody should fucking
shut
come
up.
in our kitchen. No, it's fucking bullshit.
Baby, are you okay?
Is that fucking kid?
I don't know.
He needs to be in fucking handcuffs.
For real, like it pisses me off. Why are you in handcuffs?
Just calm down.
I defended all of us when they came in our
The sun tried coming at
All right,
me
listen,
too.
you have to understand. So when we got here, we got the call, right?
They grabbed my wife.
We don't know who was at fault, who was the
I have the
aggressor.
video.
So at this time, we had to detain whoever we can to figure it out, okay?
The dude who broke in our house isn't even in handcuffs.
Is your stomach hurting? You can be honest. It's hurting?
It hurts. I've been having problems, and I have breathing problems too.
All right, listen. We gotta figure out what's going on first. All right. So everyone's in handcuffs.
No, they're not.
Yeah, we got a lot
The
of people.
dude who broke in our house isn't even in handcuffs.
We'll figure that out. Let them investigate, and we'll go from there. Stop, dude. You're stressing yourself out. You're gonna end up passing out. Try to relax, okay?
Are you all right?
Just try to relax.
this time, you're getting charged with aggravated manslaughter, aggravated assault, possession of a weapon for unlawful purpose, aggravated assault with attempt to cause serious bodily injury, and unlawful possession of a weapon. You realize what that means?
Yeah.
And I know it's a kick in the face, but your actions, everybody's actions cause this incident. Your actions caused this man's death.
He's
You know what that?
what?
Yeah.
No.
That's aggravated manslaughter. The father was dead.
No.
Breathe. You're a grown man, okay? And this shit went way bad. I have no idea what you're feeling right now. I hope I never do. And I'll feel that for you. You need a bucket. I'm saying breathe. Don't get sick. Don't do that. I don't think you're meant to kill him.
No. No. I just didn't want to touch him. Don't touch me. I just didn't want to touch me. What's gonna happen now?
You're going to get processed on the charges.
Okay.
I go home. You. And the other party tomorrow, we're getting charged too.
We need to talk to my wife.
You good?
No.
I know you're not good. I'm saying good. I'm saying you need anything.
I need to talk. Please. I gotta put you. You put me in front of me, so let's go. And then, when we're going, you ever see car one, okay? I'm not gonna see her. She's not here. She's not here. What's that? I'm sorry. Your wife's not here. Is it? Everybody keeps throwing stuff. No. You'll come back. I didn't bring yours. I didn't bring yours. I'm gonna talk to her. Okay.
Zachary Latham was initially charged with first-degree aggravated manslaughter, which would later be lessened to second-degree reckless manslaughter. Of course, he would go on to deny the charges, but believe it or not, he was granted bail until his trial. The judge said that he didn't believe that Zachary was A, a flight risk, or B, a danger to the community. However, as a part of his bail conditions, he would have to leave the state. So, Zachary headed back over to Florida, and while there, he caught another charge. Yes, while on bail for what would have been first-degree aggravated manslaughter at that point, Zachary Latham was charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault after he got into a road rage incident and had threatened the other party with a BB gun that resembled an AK-47. He also attempted to ram the man's vehicle during the heated altercation. His bail was revoked as a result of that incident, and he was to stay in jail until his trial. The Nasty Neighbour trial, as some would label it, started in the spring of 2023, when legal analysts and the public alike began to look at the facts of the case away from the headlines. Many started to question why a trial was even moving forward, including Vineland's previous district attorney, who stated that the charges against Zachary should have been dropped on the grounds of self-defense. The prosecution's main argument against the self-defense defense was that Zachary went above and beyond what was justified as self-defense. And if he feared for his life like how he made out, then he should have locked himself inside the house, called police, and waited for officers to arrive. The defense argued Zach was well within his right to defend himself.
You called Mr. Latham a punk, right?
Yes.
Yes, and what's he gonna do, right?
I'm sorry?
You asked him, what are you gonna do, right?
Yes.
You told him, you're 18 now.
Yes.
He eventually slapped your phone out of your hands.
Hit my face. He hit me.
Slapped your phone out of your hands. Did your phone get slapped out of your hands?
Did he hit me in the face?
I get to ask the questions. The question is, did your phone get smacked out of your hands?
Yes.
And you say that the phone, that it hit your face. I understand that.
His hand hit my face.
Okay. Yeah. And at that point, your husband jumped out of his truck.
My husband was already out of his truck.
So he was already approaching before Zach even got the phone out of your hands.
Because he had already hit me. As you said before.
We saw the hit yesterday. So your husband was already out of the truck, and at this point, Zach drove off, went up on the grass a little bit, and drove off around your husband's truck and went home. Right?
Yep.
Okay. So let's talk about this swerve incident. Again, I'm going to remind you that you're under oath. So, as you're approaching Zach's truck, you're yelling at him about this incident, and you tell him you have ring footage of this. You have camera footage from your house, right?
Correct.
And he says he'd like to see it because this didn't happen. He wanted to see it, right?
Correct.
You told him that you already showed it to the police.
Correct.
You hadn't showed it to the police.
No.
Now, yesterday, you testified that when you went to the police station and you were interviewed, you showed them that ring footage.
I testified that I gave all of my phone to the police.
And when Mr. Wetstein asked you about it, you said that you sat down in an interview room with police and you played the video for them and you screenshotted the portion that was shown to you yesterday, the still shot that was shown to you yesterday.
Correct.
And you said that the police were there and observed that.
I gave that, no. I was at the police station is what I said.
Okay, and you showed the officers that you had ring footage of that and you played it for them. That's what you said.
I said I was at the police station when Gage and I went through it.
I can pull the transcript from yesterday, but Are you telling me now that you did not, in fact, show police that ring camera footage?
I don't think I said that. I said we were at the police station when we found the ring footage.
And so you did not give the ring footage to police?
I gave them all the footage from my phone, yes. They had all the ring footage. I turned my phone over to them, yes.
Did you tell them that there was ring video
footage,
camera
yes.
of Zach swerving towards Gage?
Yes.
I have a transcript here of your statement to police. Would you like to review this transcript and show me exactly where it is that you turned over to them that ring footage?
I turned over my phone.
Detective Rodriguez testified yesterday. When he was asked about your phone, he specifically stated that no one, he's the person who reviewed your phone.
Right.
He's the person who pulled that footage of you walking down the driveway. He testified yesterday he was never made aware of any ring video footage. So it's your testimony that Detective Rodriguez lied about that?
No.
And again, I have the transcript if you'd like to review your statement, but nowhere in your statement did you tell the police that you had ring footage to show them, nor did you show them it. We have video of it. Are you telling me today?
No.
I'm going, all right, ladies and gentlemen, there are certain times in in any proceeding where the court takes a moment to give you what the court refers to as a limiting instruction. Now, you heard some things here, and I want to preface what I'm about to tell you with all those rules I talk about, how important they are, why you stay off the internet, okay? Here's a good example, okay? Now, you heard questioning from both the prosecution and the defense that Mr. William Doran Jr. Violated a sequestration order. And at an earlier proceeding, the court determined that he had, in fact, violated that sequestration order. Now, sequestration is meant to prevent a prospective witness from hearing what other witnesses say during their testimony, and a witness who is called to testify at a trial cannot discuss the contents of their testimony with any other witnesses or observe or view any portion of their testimony. Now, as judges of the facts, you were to determine the credibility of the witnesses and whether a witness is worthy of belief and therefore credible. Now, here's why I'm talking to you now. You heard those statements. The only purpose for you hearing them is to assess Mr. Durham's credibility. Do you understand? All right, so in that assessment, and I'll be talking to you about credibility assessments when we talk again, and I spoke to you a little bit about it when I first instructed you, if you recall those instructions. But you may consider, take into consideration the fact that Mr. Durham failed to abide by the sequestration order, and when you're assessing his credibility, all right? So if he's unwilling to or violating that order, then you have to assess, well, what other things might he violate? Is he telling me the truth here when he testifies? So you can consider it for that purpose only. Do you understand? So it goes to his credibility, and you may consider the nature of the violation and the circumstances under which it occurred as part of that assessment, okay? So I'm not telling you what to do with it. I'm simply telling you that you can consider that when you assess his overall credibility. That's one of the things you can look at, okay? And as an aside in the end, look at how important these things become, okay? There's no innocent violations, you understand? Please, please stay off the internet, okay? All right, you may continue.
With the prosecution's witnesses lacking credibility, no evidence of Zachary ever swerving into Gage, and this being a textbook case of self-defense, it's to no surprise that Zachary Latham was found not guilty on all charges.
How do you find on the count of the indictment charging that the defendant on or about the 4th day of May 2020 in the city of Island, county of Cumberland, aforesaid, and within the jurisdiction of this court, did recklessly cause the death of William T. Durham Sr. contrary to the provisions of NJSA 2C11-4B1 and against the peace of this state, the government, and dignity of the state.
Not guilty.
Response.
How do you find on the count of the indictment charging the defendant that on or about the 4th day of May 2020 in the city of Vineland, County of Cumberland, aforesaid, and within the jurisdiction of this court, did purposely, knowingly, or under circumstances manifesting extreme indifference to human life, recklessly attempt to cause serious bodily injury to William T. Durham Jr., contrary to the provisions of NJSA 2C12-1B1, and against the peace of this state, the government, and
When they confronted you, how many days was that after your 18th birthday?
See, I turned 18 on the 20th, and I believe I caught the case on the 5th. 2 weeks, I was 18.
2 weeks. So, I mean, to me, it was clearly planned. They were waiting for you to be 18 because, like...
You can clearly hear in the... Oh, you're 18 now.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, he's 18 now. Get him. Get him. I mean, her voice must just haunt it haunts our nightmares. I mean, do you hear her voice all the time?
Yeah, it aggravates me because, believe it or not, Timmy wasn't a bad guy. It's his wife that, gassed him up and lied to him for no reason and, sent him on a dummy mission.
Riled him up, clearly riled him up, clearly, we have a famous clip is when Christine asks, were you drinking? And she says, probably nothing. And we're all like, yep. Yeah, you were definitely, which means definitely something. So,
he was legally drunk, which, the prosecution didn't want Christine, sneaking that in. So she just, snuck it in.
She was really awesome. Speaking of just the trial and everything, what was like the decision? Did you want to testify? Like, what was that like talking to them? Like, was that something you thought about for a while, or you spoke? What was the decision-making process like for deciding if you wanted to testify?
I actually wanted to testify because I felt like, it would help. But, then the prosecution had free will to, say whatever. And, I fought really hard to get my TikTok videos thrown out because they were just trying to paint me as some arrogant asshole kid. And even the judge called the prosecutor out. He was like, if that's your argument, you can't use it at trial. So if I would have took the stand, he would have been able to bring up my TikTok videos.
But this isn't where Zachary's story ends, and no, it isn't to do with the road rage incident while he was out on bail. After the trial, he was sentenced to time served, which meant he was a free man. However, just over a week after that, he was arrested and charged once again, this time with aggravated stalking, sexual voyeurism, and violating a restraining order in relation to an ex-girlfriend. However, it isn't clear whether it was Sarah because the name of the victim is redacted in reports. These charges stemmed from Zachary sending the girl's parents a video of him having sex with the victim while they were in a relationship. Because of this, the girl managed to obtain a restraining order against him. Despite the order being put in place, he continued to text, call, and stalk the victim. In one incident, the victim had finished up an appointment at an undisclosed location, and out of nowhere, Zachary showed up behind her and started rubbing her back. When she tried to escape to a bathroom, he followed her. Ultimately, she ran to her car, but he was able to get into the back seat and ordered her to drive him somewhere. It was reported that she complied, but the minute he stepped foot out of her car, she made a run for it. At this moment in time, ladies and gentlemen, there's been no updates regarding that case.